Welcome, double back. It's time for Team Liquid attack. Well, it's not, but it's time for the Team Liquid Star League, in fact. And, oh no, it looks like NaNiwa sending out a probe. Is he cheesing? Or is, this is NaNiwa. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just checking for pylons with one of his first 6 probes just in case.
I mean, really, who needs, 20% of your economy here in the early stage of the game? No, it does look like he's going to do something here, and he is sending that probe out there, which is funny to me because his style is to scout for this exact thing, and we've seen HasuObs not have that similar style. He will probably play standard here and not know about it until it is a second too late. NaNiwa is going to be placing that probe and the pylon down at the bottom of the expansion there, and you can see HasuObs, if he would have just scouted a little bit for the pylon, would have spotted it, Sean, but for now, like we mentioned before, he's going to get up to the base and see that nothing is going on. I do want to mention that NaNiwa is not making probes right now either, as guess what? It is a gateway.
Oh my gosh, is he actually going to go double gateway on 9? And I love this placement. Notice how hard it is to surround any of those structures with probes because he's using the block from the mineral line as well as that back wall. We see, ooh, that's always going to be an uncomfortable moment if you're our HasuObs. You march into the base and see nothing at all, and in fact, not even too many probes. So it's going to be, again, a big question of can HasuObs micro well enough? What's the Chrono Boost looking like on NaNiwa's base? Ooh, saving up quite a bit as well.
Yeah, NaNiwa, or HasuObs rather, has a few idle probes that he needs to get back to work. He's trying to chase around the probe of his opponent. It just barely slips through, able to snipe right there. There's only going to be 1 gateway from NaNiwa here, Sean, so he's not going to be doing that 2 gateway pressure. Instead, it is going to be just 1. HasuObs still has no idea what he's going against. He's scouting around his base now, but he has not scouted that gateway at all. So he does have a forge on the way, which he can use for defense. Decides to get his gas, just so... Actually, why is he getting his gas here, you think, Sean? Because he doesn't have a Cybernetics core down.
Well, it can never be too bad to start getting gas a little bit early, because that's always something you need to be a little bit worried about, is falling behind in that, and it looks like it's not even going to come into play as NaNiwa's first Zealot already marching in there. Look at that great Zealot control, picking away at those probes without ending up getting surrounded. It looks like no direct damage has been dealt, that is, no probes have been killed off, but he is delaying a lot of mining time. There's a cannon going down. That other Zealot trying to swing up along the north end. Looks like HasuObs doing some nice control to repel everything, but in the midst of all of this, NaNiwa has actually climbed ahead in the probe count.
And HasuObs is doing a phenomenal job microing here. He will lose a couple of probes right here, but he held that off with minimal damage considering how bad it could have been. However, he is going to be behind on gas and the unit counts, as you said, Sean. He is at 14 probes to 17, and now he still has to go against 2 Zealots from NaNiwa. So a very interesting build here where if NaNiwa would have messed this up and lost those Zealots too quickly, he would have really had to pay for it. The cannon placement, a little peculiar from HasuObs. It doesn't cover the majority of his mineral line. So if we look at the units lost tab, fairly even here, but worker count is now 4 probes behind, and he doesn't have a Cybernetics core on the way, and NaNiwa is sitting on several minerals here, just needs to make sure to throw those probes in the gas. So transitioning out of this, it looks like NaNiwa will be in okay shape, may lose this gateway and pylon fairly soon here, though.
I'm so impressed with NaNiwa's ability to make whatever build he does look like it's supposed to get way, way, way ahead. I cannot believe how solid he is. We see that there's a 3rd gateway going down for NaNiwa on the main. It looks like HasuObs is going to try to win with a counter cannon rush. It looks like, ooh, he's sneaking that probe over. Hasn't yet built any cannons. We see NaNiwa doing a 4-gate in his main. There's the photon cannons going down. Already trying to extend up into the main, but we see the 3rd Zealot from NaNiwa finishing up just in time. Just has amazing knowledge of how to just wiggle around with these builds and get ahead.
Now, HasuObs was able to snipe 1 Zealot there, so it is 2 Zealots versus 2 Zealots, but the cannon is taking a lot of damage. It will get sliced away almost immediately. The probe making the cannons has gone down, which means that this cannon is going to stand alone, and there are no reinforcing units up here in the top center. For NaNiwa, for HasuObs, he was forced to cancel that cannon. Now there's 2 random stray pylons there, and this is quickly snowballing out of HasuObs' control, as it looks like, I'm curious as to what this probe's going to do, just now spotting the gateway down in the bottom center, but I mean, NaNiwa's going to get free 2 pylon kills here, and he's already ahead and transitioning into that 4 warp gates. It is going to be very difficult for HasuObs to hold this off, I would say.
And HasuObs still hasn't killed the proxy pylon and proxy gate behind his mineral line. That is going to mean a free warp in at the front door for NaNiwa. And oh, NaNiwa's warp gate about to finish as HasuObs is only just now getting started. He's going to have to actually save up all his money to throw down as many cannons as he can.
Yeah, we will see him try to do the cannoning on one base. Unfortunately, it is super delayed and not going to be able to do that much damage. It looks like NaNiwa just warping in pylons everywhere. Even that cannon sitting there shooting it. Don't know if NaNiwa cares, though, as he will be running these units up the ramp right now. The pylon for NaNiwa will spot the high ground. It is looking like 5 stalkers here trying to focus down the cannon, doing that additional damage versus armored units will take that out easily. And now from here on out, it's just micro. There is going to be the GG from HasuObs. And NaNiwa only doing 1 proxy gateway. Don't know if he planned to do 2 because he lost that probe, but it just put HasuObs' tech so far behind, forced him to get 1 forge and a cannon, which the timing on that just delays it so long. Plus, if you delay the gas of your opponent, that means your warp gates are so much sooner. I mean, I'm looking at the replay still. HasuObs' warp gate technology was only halfway done, and he did have an equal amount of workers at this stage in the game. But in this matchup, it's all about if you delay that warp gate, it is so hard to hold it off individually making those units.
Yeah, I really, really am impressed with the way that NaNiwa played that build off. And we've seen this out of him again and again and again, that in a lot of best of X, he gets a reasonably, solid set of games at the start and then seems to bust out some crazy cheese. And everyone's always thinking, man, I can't believe NaNiwa is doing some sort of all-in when he has such solid fundamentals. But as we've seen every single time, his goal is never to win, even when he's building gateways inside your base. It's to get ahead. And we've seen him do crazy things like build gateways inside of Terran's main and just force a Terran to lose tons of mining time trying to kill off the proxy gateway. So very, very clever play, very clever planning by NaNiwa, allowing him to get that 4-gate ridiculously ahead of his opponents. So now HasuObs is down 1-3, and NaNiwa is 1 game away from being up against his fellow Swede in the finals.
Now, before we go on to the next game, Sean, I just want to mention really quickly, go make sure to check out the raffle. It is teamliquid.net/raffle. That directly helps Team Liquid a lot, so if you guys are able to do it and you're outside the United States, go ahead and check that out. And then also the poll, which is live polling, and this could potentially be the last game. So this will be one of the last times, potentially, that you can vote on it, and that is PokerStrategy TSL3.com/poll. So go vote there. And it's just a good way that you can interact with us during that. And Sean, if this is the last PvP that we cast today, I just want to let you know that it has been a pleasure and an honor. And also, everyone is tweeting me, telling me to say congratulations on your degree and all of that. So it could not be a happier time for us StarCraft nerds out there. And so, yeah, good luck with that, Sean.
Dude, thank you, and good luck continuing to be a full-time StarCraft 2 caster, living the dream. I will be as husky-like as I can be post-May 13th, so, hey, internet high five. I'm just going to smack the mic. Yeah.
Boom. Did it. All right, so guys, this is potentially the last game just because it is at it's at the point where NaNiwa is 1 win away from taking this. If HasuObs can rally together and, show us some good games, then it could easily go on to the next games. And we are now transitioning into those GSL-style maps, much larger, and, there's a lot of different builds that can happen here. The map that we have lined up does have that destructible debris on the ramp, which you can easily destroy for your opponent, and that is right inside your main base, just because the stalkers have such a range that if you put on pressure, you can destroy that ramp and bust up inside the main early. And that sounded a little dirty. That's not where I was trying to head with that. But Sean, on this map, do you think that 4 gates are fairly effective just because of that ramp is pretty wide open?
Got to be very careful with a 4-gate on this map, because if you 4-gate, you can exploit the fact that it's a widened ramp that you can squeeze around any sort of goofy wall-off antic that your opponent could do, but at the same time, can you kill those rocks off early enough to be able to exploit that, because in a lot of circumstances, it takes a while to batter down those rocks, and your opponent will have all the units he needs to hold it off, so you'll have essentially wasted a lot of time not doing any damage to him at the front. The one thing that does make the 4-gate, I think, quite strong on this map is the fact that the farther away you get from the center of the map, the lower the ground is. So that means that in the center of the map, there's a lot of places where you can build pylons on high ground, and the opponent will not be able to scout them. I would anticipate that HasuObs would not be 4-gating, that he will instead go for his very solid just robo play, just hold and defend the front. But at this point, I have no idea what to even expect out of NaNiwa. Whatever he'll do, though, it'll be extremely solid.
All right, one last thing I want to mention before the internet decapitates me from too much talking is next week, make sure to check out the finals. Saturday is going to be me and DJ Wheat. That is going to be for the 3rd place matchup. And not only do you make more money, but you also are seeded into the next TSL. So that'll be the TSL4 if they continue the same naming scheme that they've had. And then after that, Sean, Sunday, May 15th, that is going to be the grand finals live from New York City, and that is going to be you and Chill. I'm already freaking out about that, and that is like a week away.
Dude, I cannot wait. I am so excited. I think that we should do nothing other to celebrate than to go into Game 5 between mouz.HasuObs and Dignitas.NaNiwa to see if NaNiwa will be approaching the grand final to face Thorzane, or whether mouz.HasuObs has a little bit of a comeback planned.